Hi guys, I'm Jim and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop, and today we're going to go over a question I had in an email about this bushing. Wanted to know if he could get the bushing that's in my boss's machine and put it in his. Would it fit? I don't know. Possibly it would fit in there, but that bushing is made up of several different parts. It's not just a bushing like it's in your machine. If you're talking about one of these older ones. This is just, and I found out this is not brass or bronze. It is powdered metal. And they compress it in a die and it comes out like this. This is about $5. This is the bushing for the other side. I had some issues with this, and when I start putting this differential together for this snapper, I'm going to tell you what I ran into and how I fixed it. That's another story. This bushing. If you want to replace this, and use the one my boss has, because it has a built-in lip seal, they're not cheap. It has two, I believe they're Teflon coated bushings that are pressed inside of this, and then they press the lip seal in. Them parts are relatively cheap. The initial outside bushing, they call them, that goes into your fender this way, and that these parts go into, you cannot buy. If you need the whole thing, you have to buy it as a assembly. So that bushing down there to put in your machine sells for $57. But this one for the other side sells for $6. Don't make sense, does it? I'm going to show you a better way to protect your bushing and a cheaper way to do it. Originally, this machine was my old 28-inch I've had for probably 30 years. It had a plastic cover that went up on there like that. And when the axle started to wear a little bit, there was no give in that plastic, like there is in a lip seal. So that hole became elongated very quickly, and dirt gets in there, and then it gets in your bushing. It ruins your bushing and your axle. So you can buy an extra one of these. This is a dust cover that is on this side of the machines. Every machine has one on this side. You can buy a new one of these for $2.80. Comes in a package like this. This is the one for Tim's snapper that we're going to be working on the next video, hopefully. You can see the part number. This is from Parts Tree, of course. And the part number for this dust cap, they just call it a cap in the description. The number is 7031732YP. Then it's going to have a big hole in it. The hole in it's going to be big enough for the shaft on that end. So what you do is you get yourself another seal. This seal has a 3/4 inch hole in it for this side of the machine. And again, I've went over this. To get the seal inside of this cap, you throw it in a cup of hot water. Not boiling hot, just hot. If you're drinking coffee at the time, hey, it's clean. Throw it in there for a few minutes. What the heck? It ain't going to hurt anything. It's not like coffee tastes all that good anyway. If you're a coffee drinker, sorry. So you heat this up in hot water and you push that seal in there. Now to get enough clearance on this side to get your wheel hub back on, this not only has to go up to and on the bushing, it has to go on the flare that's stamped into your fender. So you have to push it on a little bit farther. So once you get your seal up in here, throw it back in your coffee and warm it back up. And then you can slip it back on here. Now when you hook this on, hook it on an angle like this, hook the top side. Then as you tip it square, pull down on it and stretch the top of the lip seal. I mean, don't overdo it, but stretch it enough it goes down on the bottom. A little oil on here will really help you. Slide it back up on there, and if you turn it a little, it'll go right up on that flare on the fender. That will give you plenty of room to get your wheel hub back on here. You got about 1/8 of an inch clearance. Now, when you get it on, don't forget to put the hose clamp on here. And you have a hose clamp on this one. If you don't, when you pump grease in this fitting, and yes, you have to grease these, it's going to blow this right off. From the hydraulic pressure you putting that grease in there. And grease guns have a lot of pressure behind them. It's going to blow this right off of here. So put a clamp on there. Then when you grease this, the extra grease is going to come out this side and just help lubricate stuff over here, which is not a problem at all. So if you go with the dust cap and the seal, you're going to have about $12 into protecting your bushing. And this you can pull off if you have to replace your bushing and put it back on again. Or if you let your bushing get really bad and it ruins a seal in here, then you just have to get another seal and another bushing and you're good. Now the seals are $10. I get these at Applied Industrial. Applied Industrial is a nationwide company. So wherever you are in the United States, Google them and find the closest store to you. Chances are you can probably drive to it. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay a shipping charge. If you can't find it on the internet, I will give you my store that's in Norton Shores, Michigan. Their phone number. Call them and they will ship this little bugger to you with no problems. Their phone number is 231-798-7750. As for Bruce, that's who I deal with all the time. And that's it. That's all you got to do to protect your bearings or your bushing so you don't have a problem and get any dirt in there. Like I've said before, if you get sand inside this joint, because of this bushing material is softer, the sand is going to embed itself into this bore. Then it's going to grind your axle and destroy it. That's just how it works. So try to keep this covered up. Another issue that I see a lot, guys will send me a picture of their snapper and they say, you know, this thing don't shift, it don't go forward. What's wrong with it? Well, the first thing I can see, it looks like this one. This is a cutaway model. I do have boots on here. They're just cut in half so you can see the hex shaft when it turns. I see pictures of people sending me that have no boots at all on here. These are extremely important. If you look down in here, you can't see it. You look down in this side, there's a big gap, probably 3/16 to 1/4 of an inch between where the boot clamps onto and the hex shaft. All that sand is going inside of your differential and just grinding up your gears, your chain, your sprocket, everything that's in there. You have to keep these boots in good shape. It's very important. So if I missed anything, or if you have any questions or comments, put them in the box below. Otherwise, I guess that's it. So until next time, work safe, have fun, and protect your bearings. We'll talk to you later.